How about that? Most of the time, I use lots of bad language. I have to unmute. I have to mute myself. Okay. So welcome, everyone. This is Robert Burns, your pilot on the call today. I will be going through how to set up a virtual private server, better known as a VPS. And I'm going to show you that, but just to give you kind of a high level, here's what a VPS is. Think of a VPS like a computer in the cloud. In other words, you have a computer that's a full-fledged computer. It's every bit the computer that your Windows computer is, your laptop or your desktop machine. It just happens to be accessible via the internet. It looks and feels just like a Windows computer, everything about it. Now, just a quick caveat, if you are a Mac person, it may be even more important to have a VPS. And the reason that it's important to have a VPS is that you have a situation where MetaTrader 4, if you happen to be using that trading platform, is a kind of dated platform. And as a result of that, it was built to run on Windows, and it shows. If you try to run MetaTrader 4, the Mac version, almost instantly you'll encounter all kinds of stuff that misbehaves, doesn't work properly. That's because MetaTrader 4 is not in its native operating system environment. Windows is its native operating system environment. And as you can see on my screen, I like the Mac. I'm a Mac guy. But I threw in the towel almost within 5 minutes of trying to get MT4, the Mac version, to run on the Mac. So that's another motivation for Mac people. In general, the reason you want to have a VPS is that you want to have a machine that's running constantly and hopefully doesn't have a lot of other stuff on it, meaning there's no quicker way to get problems with your computer than install all kinds of stuff. And then there are things that just they misbehave. So if you can keep your VPS kind of trading oriented, that's always a good idea. In other words, keep it simple, only keep stuff on there that is trading related. And so what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the parameters of how to set up a VPS. I'm going to show you what it looks like to log into a VPS. So you'll see, and then we'll get into how to maintain a VPS later. And then I'm going to help a couple of our attendees get theirs set up. But I wanted to give you kind of the high level first to get a sense of what a VPS is, why it's important, and that it isn't some mysterious thing. It's actually pretty straightforward, pretty simple once you've done it. It helps having done it a few times. So here is the application that we use to log into the VPS. Let me get my handy dandy pointer here. This is Microsoft Remote Desktop. Remote Desktop is available on Windows machines and the Mac operating system both. It's pretty much the same. And what I'm going to show you is I've got a thing called the Connection Center. And when this pops up, I've got actually 3 VPSs that I have access to. I am going to go into this one right here. This particular one happens to be in Romania. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to simply double click. I've already got this set up. I've been using this one for a while, but just to show you how easy it is to use and so on, you get a prompt that comes up that basically tells you you're logging into your VPS. Do you want to continue? And I say yes. And drum roll. Hopefully this is going to behave. And there we are. Now, one of the things that you'll want to figure out right away is your screen resolution. I'll show you some of this stuff, but these are some things that you would kind of learn by doing. Fit to window is another choice that you probably are going to want to choose. This is underneath Remote Desktop under the Windows menu. Go to Exit Full Screen and then double click again. And this is a little trick I learned. It'll expand it all the way up all over the place. Hopefully, come on. Oh. That's because I don't have there we go. So here we are. We're in our VPS. And notice that if you're familiar with Windows, this will look and feel just like Windows. Now, there's some choices that you'll want to make. There's different versions of Windows Server. That is the operating system that is available to people that want to use Windows. There's Windows Server 2012, 2016, I think 2018, 2022 even. I use 2016. And here's my logic in that. First of all, I have one of my 3 VPSs is 2012. Don't get 2012. It's a mutt. It's not good. 2016 is much better. It feels more like real Windows, and there's lots of things that it does that 2012 doesn't do. And there's no difference in price. Why do I not choose the most current? Because the most current, sometimes you're the guy out on the frontier with the arrows in the wrong end. In other words, you'll find stuff out. 2016 at this point has been out. It's mature. So there's much less likelihood of having bugs and issues that you're going to have to work through. So that is the quick and dirty overview of why VPS. What is a VPS? It looks just like Windows. As I said, you can get around on here. You have notice I have 2 toolbars here. I have my Mac toolbar at the very bottom, but right here is my Windows toolbar. Taskbar, I guess, in Windows. And you can pin, you can see I have lots and lots of MT4s, different ones on here. I only have one open right now, which is this one with the blue line underneath it, but I've got lots of them on here. And there's reasons I do that I won't get into right now, but you can have a lot of them on here. Now, can you have a lot of them running simultaneously? Now we start to get into what size is your VPS? How much, what are the resources like? Does it have enough RAM? Does it have enough storage? It's mainly about RAM. Before we get into all that, though, I want to show you one thing real quick, just the setup, which is a really, really straightforward deal. I'm going to go to Connection Center, and I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to right mouse click that one, and I'm going to click Edit. And when I edit that, you'll see the first thing that you do, and when you sign up for a VPS, get together with whoever invited you here, and you can get their link. They may make an affiliate commission, and you don't pay anymore. It's just, be observant of who was nice enough to invite you here. So you'll get an IP address. That's the first thing. That is your computer name. Notice PC name, it's that IP address. There's only one. Then the other thing that you are able to do, let me find this. Let me see here. User account right here. It was right in front of me. Now, this is where you are able to define on an ongoing basis. You're going to get 2 pieces of information. You're going to have a name. Often it will be admin or trader or something like that, the username. And then the other piece of information is the password. This is where you would store that. Okay. And we'll explore this in some detail when we actually do the setup with the folks on the call here, but this is where it's stored. So that means whenever I come back in here, I don't have to re-enter the username and the password. It's automatic. You just click and accept that one screen that comes up, and I go in. The third piece of information is, where does this thing live? That's the one that you've got to pop up in here under PC name. That's called an IP address, internet provider address. Okay, that's right there. So that's kind of the basics of getting this process running. And once you have it set up, it runs around the clock. If you do happen to have EAs or different devices where you want them running constantly, it'll do that. It's very rare that these things go down because you're paying a fee to have 99.9% uptime, meaning that, you've got a professional IT crew that keeps these bad boys running, and hopefully you never have hiccups in that process. Now, there was something I was going to go into, and then I faded here for a minute. What was that? Okay, we've talked about the things you need. We've talked about where you put the parameters in. I know what it was. One of the things that you may want to consider when getting a VPS, because your VPSs will range from, at the very low end, $10 to more commonly 20 to 30 bucks. I think this one is like a 25 euros. It's in Romania. So whatever that is in dollars, it may be about the same these days. What you're paying for is you're paying for RAM and storage. In other words, the RAM is the memory, the storage is the hard drive capacity. Most of the stuff we're doing doesn't require a hell of a lot of hard drive capacity. In other words, enough enough that you can, as you can see, I can store a whole bunch of programs on here. I probably have not chewed up a lot of hard drive in this. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different MT4s. And let's see what local disk says. Let's get info on that bad boy if we can. I don't know how to do this on Windows nearly as well as I do on the Mac, which is showing my preference here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I know I don't want to do format. Properties, maybe. Yeah, that works. So I have got 100 gigabyte drive, which is pretty big as VPSs go. And I've used 20 gigabytes, so I've got 78 left. I've got a ton of room left. So I probably overpaid for hard drive here, admittedly. Could I have gotten away with a 50 gig drive? Apparently. The more important parameter as far as performance are two things. So we just talked storage. That's what you were just looking at. That's the hard drive. The other one is the memory and the processor. And the memory and the processor matter, frankly, more than the hard drive does, because the hard drive is a now and then thing. This is constant. And as you can see, I keep this little guy called the task manager in my taskbar down here. You see right here, I separate some. I have a reason that I did this in this way, just because visually it's easier for me to remember. But here's the key thing. How much CPU is being used and how much of my memory is being used. This is a deal where the lower these numbers are, the better. If you're getting up around 90, 100%, you're going to see a significant performance decrease in your VPS. That probably means you don't have enough RAM or you're trying to do too much. You've got some goofy number like 12 MT4 and you're trying to run 6 of them at the same time. Not a good idea because they chew up memory. The other one that you'll run into that's a classic, it's notorious, is Google Chrome. Google Chrome is an awful gobbler of resources. So whenever you see your resources up here running out, there's two ways to fix this. One way is simply to reboot. Okay, that's not a bad idea to do that pretty frequently. In other words, get on your computer, do a restart, and I'll show you how to do that. The other way is, if you know what you're doing, you can click up here, and if you see one of your programs, particularly Google Chrome, chewing up a ton of stuff, and you don't want to restart, you can highlight that program and then right mouse click and go end task. What that means is it'll kill it. It'll take, and the theory is it's supposed to take it out of memory. Notice I said theory. Chrome, sometimes I find misbehaves on that. It will chew up a lot of resources unnecessarily. So if you're having a resource problem and you've got Chrome open, that's the first thing I'd turn off. Let's see. How do you restart? You come down here, you see the little power button down there. I click that and I go restart, shut down, or disconnect. And if you do a restart, you will see, and I don't want to do this. I hope it's going to not. Yeah, you can then choose planned or unplanned. And when you do this, I would choose planned. So if there's any issue, you can figure out when you did a restart, it was you doing it versus one that you don't know why it did it. Because if it's unplanned, something is misbehaving. Any questions on what I've just gone over?
No.
No? Yeah, that would be me.
We've got lots of you, Clint.
Yeah.
I have one question.
We've got some echoes.
No more we don't. Okay, I must have misunderstood here. We want to have the remote desktop, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's the program that you use to access your VPS.
Right. And then do we have is the connection center something related to that?
Yeah, that is a part of. So when you go into your VPS right here, or excuse me, you go into remote desktop right here, I right mouse click and you see connection center. This is remote desktop that I'm using right now.
Okay, my remote desktop is different.
It may be on Windows. We'll explore that in just a minute.
Right, because what I was hoping to get was a step-by-step to set up the VPS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
and we
what
will
Brittany was
do
looking
that
forward
both
to.
with Lon and with Brittany. But there may be some differences, some slight differences between Windows and Mac. There may be, but in concept, they're virtually identical. You come in, you go to Connection Center, and from here on, yeah, they're pretty much the same. Once you got this popping up on your screen, you got to just simply go up here to plus right here and add PC right there. Yes, no.
I have to take your word for it. I can't see it, but that's okay.
Okay. You go add PC, and then you start popping in the parameters, your IP address for the computer name, and you're going to ultimately, when you log in, you're going to need to put in your.
And where does that data come from, Robert, that we want to put in there?
From being a subscriber of the VPS.
Okay, so they send that to you in an email.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. The task manager, is that on the computer or the VPS?
That is good question. In this case, it's on the VPS for me, although let me just answer, it's on the VPS.
It is. So
yeah.
Can I find it on my computer also?
Yes.
And where would I go for that?
Go to the control. Go to. Do you know where you do a search like this right here?
Yeah.
Let me back up. What version of Windows are you using?
7 Pro.
Oh, dinosaur.
I know.
Okay. I'm
afraid that it moves everything on my computer to update it to 10 or whatever.
Yeah, I hear you. I went through the same drill because I kind of got so irritated with the way it was behaving on the Mac. So now what we're looking at is Windows running on my local computer. We're not looking at the VPS now. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a program called Parallels, which is another cool thing. But I coincidentally, I was just going to show you, and it's not panning out as I hoped it would. I have Windows 7 Pro, and I still like Windows 7 Pro. So I was just giving you a hard time. I have that, and I have 11. So I've kind of, bridging putting bookends on some of the Windows operating systems. 7 Pro is a fine operating system, nothing wrong with it. And it works beautifully with MT4. So I found what that's worth. And what you do, let me see, hang on just a minute and I'll show you where that is. Maybe.
I did find it on my computer, so I'm at that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here is Windows 7 and Windows 11 running at the same time. So you can't do this on a Windows machine, but us Mac people, we can.
Nice.
There's 7. So let's go find the task manager. And the task manager is a very useful thing on your own. I'm glad you mentioned that because it's a very, very useful utility on computers. On Windows, we don't have something like that on the Mac. The Mac is generally better at memory management than Windows is, the Mac OS, because it's based on Unix. A very dear friend of mine, when you use Microsoft Excel, you're using the handiwork of a fellow named Steve McGuire. And one day, he said, finally, when Windows 7 came out, they built a real operating system. He was literally the lead guy at Microsoft for Microsoft Excel, but not a fan of Windows. And he said, finally, they've come out with a real operating system where you can run sessions of other operating systems at the same time, which apparently is the test of real operating systems, according to Steve McGuire. And one of the things that you can do is if you go here and you search for, are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, type task in the search and you should get, he says, task manager. Come on, don't make me a liar.
And mine came up at the top.
Yeah, mine isn't for some reason. I don't know why. Task. Let me see if I go to control panel. Maybe that'll be more friendly.
I couldn't find it on control panel.
Oh, really? one of the things, and see, this is a program that allows you to run Windows on the Mac. So it is full-fledged Windows. The difference is some of the keyboard equivalent stuff ain't the same. Let me see if I can find this quick. It is helpful to have this stuff. Accessories, maybe there. No. System tools, maybe there. Task scheduler, what is that? Let me show you what it looks like on, this is what it looks like on Windows 11. And you see, I like it so much, I leave it running because I can look at what my CPU is doing, what the computer is doing, and how much memory I have. And I find this very useful on the VPSs. I can adjust all of these resources on here because this is it running on top of the Mac. And so I can tune it up. And as you can see, it's running very efficiently here on 11. There is the equivalent of that. That is not what I wanted, was task scheduler. Control-Alt-Delete might get you the task manager, Lon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just surprised I can't find it more easily than this. Just tells you how often I get in here. Taskbar.
And then can you save that on your
Yeah, you can pin it to your taskbar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in fact, that's exactly exactly what I did right here. You see that now we're back on the VPS. You see down here where my mouse is?
Yeah.
When I click that, this comes up and I just right mouse click right here. And I don't want to unpin, but you would pin it to the taskbar.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I notice on my CPU usage, it's like it ranges from 6 to 26%. It's moving around.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay, but my physical is 73%.
Your what?
The physical memory is 73%.
Okay. Do you have a lot of stuff open on your machine?
Yeah. So if let's say I close my Skype, that means Skype will be closed. Is that right? It won't be functional.
Yep.
Okay.
Skype is another one that's notorious for not being friendly with memory.
Yeah, it uses up a lot.
Yeah. And that's one that I can't believe hang on just a minute. Let me just see if I can. Task manager. Maybe I misspelled manager. Let me give this another whirl. View list of running gadget. Oh, wait. View running processes with task manager. Yeah, baby. I think I misspelled task manager.
Okay,
here's what it looks like on Windows 7. And what you can do is go to processes, and then you can kind of adjust this a little bit so you can see what they are.
Yes.
And get memory and get where the devil is their CPU. The two that are important, I don't know if you can turn these off. Maybe you can. But the two that are important are memory and CPU, because CPU is the computer. Yes. In other words, how much is the chip itself being taxed versus, and memory, think of memory just like a bucket. If the bucket is full, it's not efficient as a bucket that's relatively empty. If a program is in that memory in the bucket somewhere, when you turn the program off, it should pull itself out of the bucket.
Yeah.
If it stays in the bucket, this is problematic.
I find I'm starting my computer more often, mainly because I've got so many things going on.
Yeah. And that's not here's another thing to keep in mind. Good housekeeping with this stuff, especially Windows related stuff. And I do it on the Mac too. The Mac is not immune from this. Having a reboot that happens, you're trading money, you're trading dollars, you're trading, is it good to have everything fresh? Take a few minutes extra to reboot. Probably not a bad idea every day. Because then you're starting with a fresh slate, an empty bucket. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'll talk to people. I'll say, when's the last time you rebooted? And they go, I think like maybe 2 months ago. Man, that's placing a lot of faith that things are not going to misbehave. and
Now, are
they
you
do
talking about the computer we work on or the VPS or both?
both.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any computer that you're using, you know, there's an old adage, you know, when you've got a computer misbehaving, reboot before you start to go in and, you know, take out the scalpel and the, you know, the wrenches and so forth, reboot. Most of the time that will fix problems that crop up.
Well, I know for me, which doesn't matter to everybody, but I turn mine off at night. It's a hard, cold reboot, which I like. I've got an older computer. But are you suggesting then, Robert, that before we start our day, that it's not a bad idea to reboot the VPS?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Now I can do
It's a computer just like any other. Keep that in mind. In other words, if I wanted to reboot this one here, first thing I would do is I would turn off my, whoops, I just closed that chart. Damn it. Didn't want to do that. Let me do this before I forget. Do click the right X, not the one I did. There's two X's up here. One is your chart on MT4. One is MT4 itself, which is the big one. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And boom. So now if I want to reboot, I've saved everything. Closing MT4, when it's set the way you want it, when you close it, it writes what all the changes are that you've made. So if you reboot without doing that, it may not remember those nifty steps that you did. So there's a little worth the price of admission tip. Close MT4 first to maintain and store, save all the changes you made, then and only then reboot.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now sometimes I will restart, and then other times I'll totally turn it off and let someone told me you let all the little things settle down. Is there a difference?
There are times on your computer that you want to shut down.
Okay.
I don't do that as a rule on the VPS. In fact, I don't think I've ever shut down.
Okay.
Because it makes me nervous that it won't. I'm not there to flip the switch and watch it come back on again. And there are times, there are occasions, and just we'll get into this, and then we'll get into the brass tacks of getting you guys running. There are occasions where your VPS will run home to mama, so to speak. It just won't behave. And when it does that, you have to get into the back office. Most of the time, you're going to probably be interacting with tech support from the VPS company, and they will do what's called a soft reboot most of the time. They have to, you can do it, or they have to do it on your behalf, depending on the VPS company. What that means is the restart didn't behave, or the VPS itself is just non-responsive. This is more common. Now and then it'll happen. Don't panic. It'll be non-responsive. It won't come up. And it's like, what the hell? It's not working right. Go to the VPS company, say, hey, my VPS isn't behaving. Most of the time they'll go, oh, we'll do a soft reboot if you want us to. Yes. And boom, you're right back in business again.
Oh, okay.
It's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Now on the, this is a very basic question. How do I pin my task manager to my task bar?
Generally a right mouse click.
That's what I thought. I was trying that. I'm not getting.
You see right here? This is Windows 7 that I have on the screen.
Right.
Here's the task manager. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you. Hang on. I don't want Chrome. Here's the task manager.
Yeah.
That's the thing running. Let me make sure that's the case. Yep, that was the case. At least now we know we can find it. Manager. I think I misspelled it before. Okay, so now here we have it on the taskbar. Right mouse click, pin this program to taskbar. From now on, it won't disappear. I can close this. It'll still be there. I can reopen it simply by clicking.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm looking for it on my taskbar. So it's already on the taskbar once I have it open, right?
Yeah, but it won't stay there unless you pin it to the taskbar.
Okay.
Open or close, when it's pinned, it's on the taskbar permanently until
Yeah.
you remove it.
Okay. Mhm.
You with
Oh,
me, Brittany?
Yep, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go first? Should we do a coin toss?
Not me.
Go let her go first, then I'll.
I'm gonna do a coin toss, and Brittany, I want you to call it in the air. Ready? 3,
Heads.
2, 1.
Heads.
Lon, you're. Oh no. Yep, Lon, you're up.
Good.
Oh, shoot.
That was tails. That was my dollar coin, and I kind of I don't look at this coin much, and I saw the Statue of Liberty, and then I flipped it over, and there's good old. Who is that? That's Thomas Jefferson,
That's
I
funny.
think. Who is it on the? John Adams. Geez, you know your presidents. Not much of a patriot am I. Okay.
So I know the first thing I'm going to need to figure out is that resource, where that is.
That resource.
What'd you call it? The resource manager or something like that?
Task manager.
No, I got the task manager. It's how we're.
The remote desktop.
No, we're taking VPS using that.
Connection
Are you
center?
talking about the remote desktop software?
There it is. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do need that.
And where do I get that?
You should be able to download that from a lot of places, either online or, and again, you're on Windows 7, right? Windows 7
Right.
Pro.
Right.
All right. Let me see, because I don't think I have it on here either. Let's see if we can do that together.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
When I search for remote, the remote connection comes up in my menu. Is that different? Do I need to download something?
Yeah. Remote desktop is the name of the software.
Right. And remote desktop connection, the app is on my computer. And I've never
It may be.
downloaded.
It may be, yeah. In fact, it might already be on mine. I'm glad you said that because let me
Yeah,
check.
I think I have it on mine. Maybe.
Oh, that's
too.
right.
Yep, I
Remote.
do have it already. And so what we may have just learned, consider the source. This is a Mac guy. Remote desktop may be bundled with as a default app. So if everybody has it, I think we may have our answer, because if you all didn't download it, it came with the operating system.
It did. You just have to put in you go to start and then search, put that in there and it comes up. Then you connect.
Now here's the rub. Okay. That may be true, Windows 7 dude, but you also may be using a dinosaur version.
Oh.
Yeah. Versions matter. I'm going to go here and do it the way I initially set out to do. Do you notice right here, I typed remote desktop and look at what popped up right here. Remote desktop Windows 10. Remote desktop download. Well, that sounds close. Remote desktop software. Let's go there first and just see what our friends at Microsoft have in store for us. Get that out of the way. And I don't know what this is. Don't install the driver software. Yes, keep that. No, don't do that. Okay, where all these are ads. You guys are probably used to that already. The pestering of the different publishers. We're looking for good old Microsoft. That company down the street from me. Where the hell is it? Remote desktop software download. There we go. When you see Microsoft.com and the domain name, you're in good shape. All right. And I really don't know what the current version on Windows is, so this is a good exercise for me as well. Okay. Web, Mac. Do you have access to something called the Microsoft Store, Lon?
I don't know.
Well, let's poke over there for just a minute. Not liking that.
Microsoft Store.
I don't know what Azure is. That's kind of throwing me a curve. There we go. Download Microsoft Remote Desktop Assistance from official. I like official and the word official and Microsoft in the same sentence. Be careful where you download stuff from, guys.
Yeah.
There's no quicker way to get hacked than be lazy with not sourcing that you're getting this from a legitimate source. You get it from some sketchy outfit that pretends to be Microsoft. Really problematic. Here would be the download, and here is the search. I can get you there directly, Lon. I'm gonna put this in chat.
Okay, yeah.
What you're gonna need to do, even though we said you were first, I'm going to make an executive decision that you need to download and install this first.
Okay.
Oops, that ain't it. Hang on, sorry. Copy. In which case, Brittany, you're up.
Yeah, the same thing. I have my VPS number, but I don't have this Microsoft I don't think I have this downloaded. So
Do you have remote desktop on your, let's back up. What version of the operating system are you using?
I'm not 100% sure to just be truthfully honest. I may have it on my computer. I can give you access to
Okay. Give me
but
1 second here. I'm trying to get this for Lon. If this damn thing is going to behave here, let me see if it'll behave better with Telegram. Hang on a minute. Sir Lon, where are you? I cannot get this copy and paste to work. So this is another little nifty thing that I've just learned is it doesn't copy apparently all that well from Windows 7, which is kind of annoying. Hey, Arful. White courtesy telephone. Could you do me a favor and track down this download that is the appropriate one for Windows 7 and send that to Lon?
Okay.
That would be helpful because that way I don't have to focus on this and I can get busy with Brittany and getting that going.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to give me this link?
I can't send it as the problem, or I'd already be done.
Okay, give me 1 second so I can write down this.
Do you want a screenshot?
Yes.
Just take a screenshot of that right there.
Okay, done.
You good?
Yeah. Good to go.
Love the tech guys. Done. 10 seconds ago. Okay, very good. I'm going to kill my share, and Brittany, you are about to be up. Okay, stop share. Okay, Brittany, you can go ahead and share now if you would, please.
I think, am I sharing?
Not yet. Look for Zoom, the Zoom taskbar, toolbar, and you're looking for a green folder on there that says share screen. There you go.
Right.
All right. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what we've got. You've got a late model. You've got a late version of Windows. That I can tell you with great certainty. Let's see which one. The way I know that is where your menuing button is. Give me just a minute here, and I'm going to request mouse control.
Yeah, I'm sending it over to you now. I think I just.
Okay. If you can let me have the mouse, we'll be good.
There.
Now, do you see where this is right here? It's here instead of over here.
Yeah.
This is an indication immediately that you're using a more current version of Windows. just as a quick and dirty visual. The fact that this guy is right here, that's probably 8 and looks more like 10 or 11 if I had to hazard a guess. Let's find control panel. And let's go right here to see what your system is. That ain't it. Hang on. System and security. View your computer status. Thought that's what we were doing. No. There we go. This generally will get us what we want. Did you see how I got there, Brittany?
It was quick.
I'll go back and do it slowly, but you are using, where is our operating? You're using Windows 11 Home. That's the version of the operating system that you're using. You've got 16 gigs of RAM. And you've got a 60, this is a 64-bit operating system. This is an important piece of information because sometimes you'll be given choices about software that they'll say, do you want the 64-bit version or the 32-bit? If they give you that choice, in your case, always choose 32-bit, or excuse me, always choose 64-bit. Lon, you'd make the opposite choice. Since you're using Windows 7, you'd use 32. Windows 7 is a 32-bit operating system. Okay.
Yeah.
And this matters when you start installing software because 32-bit does not like 64-bit. It's oil and water.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Now, let's go slowly through what I just did. So what I just did is I used the search feature down here. First of all, that little magnifying glass guy, and I could type in control panel. I went here like this, and I got control panel.
System and security. Yeah.
Let me go there. System and security right up top.
Correct.
Then I went to system right here. And then you get this is sort of the details of the setup of your machine. It tells you what the name is, what the processor is, how much RAM. This is the memory. This is a particularly important one for performance on the machine. What this doesn't tell us is the size of the hard drive here, although that's pretty easy to figure out. And it doesn't matter all that much on your PC, you know, as long as things are running, you're fine. Now, let's see if you've got remote desktop. Let's go to the magnifying glass and let's type remote desktop settings. Okay, that looks promising. What we're looking for is the app. Remote desktop. Let me go here. Help with remote desktop, setting up remote desktop. That sounds promising. No, that's not what we want. Let's go to the apps right here. And let's type remote desktop connection. You know what I think you've got, Brittany, is you've got this bad boy built in.
I thought so too, but I'm not. I wasn't too sure.
Here's what I'm going to make an executive decision about. I'm going to pin this to the taskbar just to make this easier. You see right here?
Yes.
Click. Now it should be to the right of your gear. Yeah, it's built into your OS now. That's good.
Okay.
Lon, you've got a little more work to do because you're not as current as she is with the operating system. Now we go here, Brittany. Click on that. And now what I want you to do is now, I want to talk through this first real quick. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in the IP address and we're going to put in a username. The username is for you. It's just a friendly name, which is whatever your VPS is. Do you know where your VPS is located? Is it in London or New York or?
I can look on my in my email. It'll take just a hot second.
This would
but no,
generally be
I'm-
something that you do when purchasing, meaning having the purpose of having some of the VPS companies have a thing, a menu where you can go in and determine broker latency. What's that mean? Broker latency is determining the amount of time that it takes a signal to get to that broker. And if you have a, you know what, this is a picture is 1,000 words. Let me show you something real quick. I'm going to grab share. I'm going to grab it back again. When choosing a VPS, this is one of the things that you can do that will help ensure better performance. So let's say I go to fxvps.biz.
Well, not to cut you off, is there a possibility that mine can be, I know I looked at the bottom, it said Houston, Texas. Mine is called IO Zoom.
I don't know. One of the benefits of using one that is Forex specific, in other words, they make a point of advertising FX or Forex, is this notion of broker latency, because VPSs can be all over. It doesn't make it bad. I'm using one that wasn't intended to be a Forex VPS that I use for Forex. It's in Romania, and I have a bunch of reasons for doing that. In general, however, if you are going to make a choice and you know, knowing nothing else going in, it's helpful to know where your broker is and what has the least amount of latency to that broker, the least amount of lag. Okay. Now let me give you an example. Here's broker latency. This is on fxvps.biz. I go to broker latency. What broker are you using, by the way?
Like NVFX or this IO Zoom.
NVFX. Now, you can see right here really quickly. Do you see right here, New York? It's 188.6 milliseconds, Amsterdam 19, Frankfurt 38. Look at the one, the small number is the winner here, which in this case is London. What is this telling us? This is telling us that NVFX's MT4 servers are in London. Now, knowing nothing else, get a VPS that's close to your broker. Get a London VPS.
Okay.
Okay. Let me give you another example. Okay. Because they're not all the same. Let's look at Black Bull. You see right here, I type black and I get Blackwell and Black Bull. And this one's in London, but Black Bull, one of the ones I use, is in New York. So if I chose London, look at the difference in the amount of milliseconds London would take versus New York. I have just added a lot of lag if I wasn't conscious of this decision.
Okay.
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 So this is something that's important in the choice when you're making a choice on a VPS, because it will minimize latency, and every bit helps. In other words, we're trying to create the very highest likelihood of when you enter a trade, that bad boy executes immediately, as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Hey, Robert,
Where is what? I heard you for a minute and then you disappeared.
Yeah, me too. I heard him too, but
sorry about that. Where's Hanko?
Good question. Let's look. HANKO. London.
Excellent. Thank you.
A lot of Forex brokers or Forex VPSs that are focused on delivery of VPSs to the financial markets. They'll have this feature, and this is just one choice. It's not the end all be all. There are many. I happen to use this one, and so far so good. A little more expensive. The one I'm using, I think, is $30 because it's got a little bit more RAM and a little bit bigger hard drive. But this is a really handy thing to know. Knowing nothing else, you can go in here, and if you're choosing and you've identified the broker that you want to work with, making sure you get a VPS that is in close proximity, literally physically close proximity, meaning there's a London VPS talking to a London broker. There's a New York VPS talking to a New York broker, et cetera. And there's a broker, for instance, I like, and I like them enough that I might actually do this. It's very unusual, but there's a broker called 8cap that's in Tokyo. I might get a VPS just for them. They're that good. Really, really good spreads, good execution, just a lot to like there. In fact, Vanessa uses 8cap, which kind of surprised me. And I think it's because she's maybe a dual citizen. She can do that. But that was a, wow. Okay. Any questions on what I've gone over so far?
No.
No? Lon?
Nope.
How's that download coming along?
It's it's being downloaded now. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I am going to kill my Windows 7. Suspend. Okay, there we go. All right. And Brittany, back to you.
Okay. So my, I have my, where it's my VPS. Do I tell you just the main IP number?
Go ahead and share your screen first, if you would, please.
You see it?
Yes, I do. So
Okay.
yes, what you'll put in, the first thing that you put in is copy that IP number from your email and pop it where it says computer right there. Don't close that one in the foreground. Just go get your, now what you're about to do. Okay. Cause I think you're going to get to a screen. Let me just walk you through this before you do this. I want you to, do you have two screens by any chance?
I can like that, right here, I could do two screens or three.
But I mean, do you have two
screens or-
physical monitors?
Oh, no.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do then, because you're going to go over, just hang tight before you do it. Hang tight. What I want you to do is, first of all, come back with your remote desktop, that screen, that little window that was in the foreground there. Just to the right a little bit.
Okay.
Nope. You can close that one. There you go. Yeah. You can close that there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I'm going to walk you through what we're going to do. And there's a reason I'm doing this is you're going to get on an email that has some fairly privileged information and you like us, but probably not that much. So you don't want to be showing your password. And you're about to go to a piece of information on that email that has your username and your password. What I want you to do is when you get over to that email, I'm going to want you to copy the IP address. That'll be pretty clear on which one that is, right? And you're going to see a username, which might be admin, it might be trader, it might be a variety of different things. Then you're going to see a password. So what I want you to do, the first step that I want you to do when you get over to that email is copy the IP address. But before you do that, what I want you to do is pause your screen share. Okay.
Okay.
Then we won't be able to see any of your super secret stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it say paused?
It does say pause.
Excellent. Go over to your email, grab your IP address, copy it onto the clipboard, and then come back over to remote desktop here and paste it there where it says computer.
Okay.
Okay. And let me know when you've completed that step.
Okay. So in the computer portion, where do I place the IP number again?
Right where it says in the field next to computer, where it says example computer fabricam.com, right there.
Okay.
Custom dynamic website that can't write a single line of code. All your worries are now.
Arful, you need to mute. Thank you.
Okay, so I typed it in and then,
You should just be able to copy and paste that, by the way. It's great that you typed it, but you don't need to. You can just copy it from the email and then paste it into that field.
okay, so it's done. And
Okay.
then for my username, I just put anything because I have my password here, but
No. We're not to username and password yet. And username here, let's do this. Go ahead and restart your share just by, or renew. I forget what it's called.
okay.
Unpause it.
Okay, let me click out of,
You got to go to the Zoom toolbar.
there you go.
Okay, very good. Now what I want you to do, just for grins, because I just want to see what happens, click on connect right now. Happy days are here again.
Okay, so now I type in,
Hang tight for just a minute. Do you see where your name is?
yes,
Can you click on that and see if you can edit that?
no,
Can't edit it.
no.
Okay. Okay, hit cancel right here. Now what we're going to do is let me have the mouse here for just a moment. I think that might be a little bit quicker. Okay.
Mouse is all yours, Mr. Burns.
Let's see here. Stop. Why am I not seeing what I want to see? You will be asked for credentials when you connect. Yes. Put in, do you remember what the username was that they gave you? Because that is not privileged. That's not a big deal. It's the password that you want to be careful with. But do you remember what the username is?
I can.
For me, it was trade.
Yeah, it often is, but this varies a great deal from VPS company to VPS company.
My VPS host name was blame.com.
No. It's username and password. It'd be the IP address and then username and password. Those are the three key parameters.
The username is administrator.
Okay, type that in here. And case matters here, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, now what I want you to do is just leave this right here for a second. Pause your share again. Pause your share.
Okay.
Go over to that email and highlight your password. Make sure that there's no leading or trailing spaces. Be very precise with what you highlight and then copy it to your clipboard. Okay.
Did I pause my share? I'm trying to, but I don't know if it's working or not. Oh,
I can see your mouse moving. Move your mouse around.
I'm moving it. Do you see it?
No. You're paused. It's not moving.
Okay, so
go to the email.
So where?
Highlight
Yes.
the email from the VPS, highlight the password and copy it to the clipboard.
Okay. You said copy it to the clipboard?
Yeah, that's just Control C or highlight it and right mouse click and use copy.
Okay.
Those are the same thing.
1 second. Let me. The number was on my phone. So I was able, hold on, I think I found it.
It shouldn't be a number, by the way. It's generally going to be text and
Right,
numbers.
no,
both.
it's my, I got it. Control C. I think I was able to copy it.
Okay. Now you can unpause
I
share.
Oh, wait, let me get out of my. Okay,
Okay. Now, do you see the little box that says allow me to save credentials?
yes,
Check that.
okay.
Now I want you to click connect again. Yeah, baby. Paste, Control V as in Victor.
Uh-oh, hold on, that's too many, let me, no, that's too many,
Too many characters.
yeah, too many characters. I think because I tried it twice. I copied it twice.
Okay, now if you're going to go over and copy it again, make sure to pause share. Or type it in. That works too.
There we go.
Hey, no, don't get ahead of me here. Go slow.
No,
That's fine. They all do that, by the way, so don't panic on that. Do you want to connect despite these certificate errors? Say yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have liftoff. Voila. Look at that.
wow.
Hugo's Way. Is this what you anticipated seeing?
Yeah.
Do you have an account with Hugo's Way?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Excellent. Well, you're in your VPS.
Okay.
Now, a couple things that we can do just to do that's a couple of those maneuvers that we did before. May I have the mouse for just a moment?
If somebody has your VPS, you have yes, you can have the mouse. If someone has your VPS password, what are they able to do?
A lot of damage. That would make me really nervous. They have access to the toy store.
Okay.
So if it's somebody you trust implicitly, then that may be okay. But here's a couple of things to keep in mind. If you have somebody that has your access to your VPS, they can do damage. They can hurt you, especially if they don't know what they're doing, number one. Number two, even if they're highly trustworthy, no problem. Let's say Lon and I are business partners and Lon is trading and I don't know that he's trading and I log into the VPS. I'm going to kick him off the VPS. There's only one access to the VPS at a time. It is not multi-person access. It's one or the other.
Is it multi-device?
Yes, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. Just want to make sure.
In other words, if your business partner, Brittany, comes in and you're doing something or you're in the middle of trading and they log on to the VPS, that can screw you up because it'll kick you off.
Okay.
It's one at a time. And that would, in fact, Clint, be two devices. You can have many devices, but it's only one session at a time. One device at a time. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was going to do was come down here and let's find, assuming that behaves, there we go. Task manager. There it is. Boom. Let's move this over here somewhere. More details. Yes, we want more details. processes. There we go. There's CPU and memory. Your memory's a little light. Now look at what's right up top. I rest my case, Your Honor. the notorious memory pig, Google Chrome. And indeed, you have it running. You have 3 things running. See the blue bars down? Actually, 4 things running. See down here? The blue line
Where
underneath the application indicates that application is running. That's reflected
Okay.
over here also. Okay. That's when you see apps right here. These are the apps that are running. Okay. Now to make sure that this comes back or is easy to get, pin to taskbar. The other thing we'll
Okay.
do here just for grins, I think this is Windows what was I looking for? Windows 2016. It looks like it. Control panel. Gosh, I had it there. I don't know what happened to it. What in the hell? Control panel. There we go. Why would it not come up when I type? It'll come up when I type C. Okay. Whoops. Go back. I think we know the answer, but just in the interest of being thorough, it's 64-bit. It is, drum roll, where the hell is it? Windows Server 2019. So it's more current than what I'm using. And this is probably fine. I just haven't used it. I choose 2016 because I know it's more stable. You've got 2 gigs of RAM on this machine. That's probably enough to do 2, maybe 3 sessions of MT4. Should you be so inclined, you start getting above that, you're going to run into performance problems. So that, and then let's see what size hard drive you've got on this bad boy. Let's see here. You've got a 30 gig hard drive. Sorry?
I didn't understand what you meant by 2 or 3 sessions of what?
In other
Of
words,
MT4?
MT4 is an app. So one
Right.
app, one MT4 running is 1 session. 2 MT4s
Okay.
running is 2 sessions, and so on.
Okay.
Okay. You've got a 30 gig hard drive. You've used about half of it. See right here?
Yeah.
So all of that looks fine. This is getting a little bit light on memory. I guarantee you when you close Chrome, do you have anything on Chrome right now that you need to save or that you do not want us to see?
No, not so much.
So can I close Chrome without risk of fouling you up?
Yeah, you can close it.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, didn't improve a hell of a lot. It was like 83%. Now it's 76.
Yeah.
What's animalware? Do you know?
No, I have some stuff going on, so I'm not going to
What I
don't know
just
what
did is
that
I
is.
clicked on the top of this column and now it's sorted by the most usage of memory to the least usage of memory. And something called animalware is chewing up a fair amount. Or anti-malware, sorry. I can't read. So
okay.
this is how you
And
can
that's
quickly
just
determine,
on my computer.
Sorry?
And that's just on my computer.
That's on your VPS. We're
Okay,
looking
I
at the
wouldn't-
parameters on your VPS right now, not on your local computer.
Right. I wouldn't touch anything too much. Desktop Windows Manager, I think we're using that. I'm not going to touch too many things because I have some stuff going on with other people. So I don't know if they're using that for a reason.
It may be part of the Windows operating system. That's distinctly possible.
I mean,
But-
if you want
but-
to try to shut that down, but I don't.
That's one I don't think I would advise doing because it I think is part of the operating system. The key thing that you want to be mindful of is you're kind of toward the top of the range. If you start getting above 90% as an example, your performance will definitely fall off.
Okay.
So, I am looking at the clock and this has gone longer than I thought it was going, and I've got an 11.
Yeah.
Let me see. Give me just 1 second here. Lon, how are you doing with that download?
I've got it. I put a screenshot in the chat because I didn't want to go any farther without you seeing what it got.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I am 64-bit.
Oh,
I've got
Okay.
Windows Pro. I guess that's the difference.
Windows 7 Pro.
Yeah.
Okay. You taught me something. Okay. I think we have got you going successfully, Brittany. So I'm going to hop over to Lon and see if I can help him get set up. And I'm checking
Okay.
in with my guy.
Thank
to see
you.
if-
Thank you so much, Mr. Burns.
Oh, you're welcome. Please call me Robert.
Robert, thank you so much, Robert.
You're welcome. So if you can stop your share, then we can let Lon share his and we'll see if we can get him running as well.
How do I stop it? I don't want to pause. Oh, I see it. Okay, I stopped my share.
Okay.
Since I'm all set, Robert, is it okay if I stop the call so you could focus on Lon?
Oh, yeah. No worries.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
Okay, Lon, you're sharing your password.
Yeah, I see that.
You don't want to be. There
Right.
you go.
Okay. Have my email up. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And let's see your remote desktop.
Let me see. That's that. I didn't go any further because I didn't know what I should do here. Copy the clipboard.
Let me do this. Let me grab the mouse control if I may.
Yeah. And let me
Um,
put my email down.
Okay, did you give me mouse control?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, then you'll want to
You don't want
relinquish
that.
use of the mouse. Can you put that window back in front of what we have here or scroll to a different tab or yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Yes.
Now here is assistant. Let's see. That I'm going to close. Let's go to here. This is like deja vu. I haven't been on 7 for a long while. Remote desktop assistant. Why do we have assistant and not the program? Huh. Okay. This is not something I've done.
Mhm.
If you choose to do this, make sure to write this down somewhere where you can get access to it, no problem. And then, and if you're going to do this, also pause your share so we don't see what's on your screen.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. I'm going to click got it.
Yep.
Get started. Okay, this looks promising. Do you have a different window?
Yes.
Different screen? Is there something on a different screen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need it on this screen. Put it over on this screen if you would. I can't see what I can't see.
Can you see it now?
No,
I put it on the wrong screen.
Must
I
be.
put it on my other monitor.
put it on the one that has the little window that we were just on, the remote desktop assistant. Put it to the right of that.
Still trying to find where to put it.
Right now, the one that we were on is dimmed, which would indicate that you're on a different monitor somehow.
Oh, okay.
You need to be on this monitor where Zoom is. Whatever you shared with Zoom, that's the monitor you need to put stuff on.
Yeah. Let's find out what I'm doing. I'm kind of caught.
Okay, let's do this.
I'm looking for the Zoom, and I'm going to have to.
Well, do you see the screen that has a bunch of tabs open? It looks like it's Chrome, if I had to hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Get it on that screen. That's the screen that you're sharing. Unless now, let me ask you a question. Did you share Chrome or did you share the screen?
I thought I shared the screen. I thought I did.
Because right now, we see remote Microsoft Remote Desktop Assistant about a third of that screen.
Yeah.
And behind it is Chrome.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm clicking on everything to try to get it.
If I had to hazard a guess, Lon, it appears to me that you've chosen an app as opposed to the screen. I'm just guessing because everything right now is kind of a dimmed. It's like you're doing something else and it's not active on this screen.
Right. And I'm not sure how to get. Now, okay, how's that?
Yeah, it's better now. What did you do?
I canceled the other thing after we clicked on get started. I canceled that.
Okay. I don't know why it opens on a different screen. That's weird. It should open on this screen.
Yeah, that's what, let's see, when I get started, yeah, okay, set this PC up, it said.
Okay, now, whatever you're seeing with that, we don't see. The only thing we see is Chrome with FX VPS. So get whatever else you're working on over here where we can see it. Drag that window over here, in other words.
Drag this window.
No. There we go. Now we're talking. Then lift.
Is that it?
No. Close this window in the foreground that you're dragging around here. Close this
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
No, that's a tab. Okay, that worked. You've got a different window open right now on your other monitor. Am I right? It says something about remote desktop. Drag that over here from your other monitor onto this monitor. Are these two monitors connected to the same computer?
Yes.
Okay, drag it from the other one onto here. In other words, grab that window that's over on the other monitor by the toolbar. That's the top where the name of the app that is open. Drag not here. Not here in Chrome. Go over to the other monitor that we cannot see.
Yeah, I can't, right?
Click the title bar and drag that window over to here. Click and hold, drag, in other words. You're not clicking anything in Chrome. If you're clicking in Chrome, you're not in the right place.
What I've got on this other monitor, just a picture of you and me, the Zoom.
Oh.
The Zoom, another, yeah.
What happened to the remote desktop window? That's the one that was apparently splitting up for some reason. Let me see down here.
What if I stop sharing and start over?
Hang on a minute. Let me grab mouse control here for a minute.
Okay. There you go.
I think I have it. There we go. Let's go to connection. This is what I really wanted to see. We don't need that other stuff. Okay, now same drill. What I want you to do, yeah, and I think it's right behind this window right here. In other words, let's drag now. Do you see where it says remote desktop in the very top, and you've got the minimize, maximize, and the red X?
Yeah,
That's called the title bar. When somebody says grab the title bar, that means anywhere in that darkish line, click, and you can drag it around. Okay.
Right.
Just for the sake of the vernacular. Now behind here, I'm going to scroll down, hopefully just far enough to get that. Okay.
That is an email. That is an email.
Yeah. We need this right here.
Right. I've got that written down too.
Okay, now we're going to come back over to here. And some of this video, it's very clear, is going to need to be edited. Can you go back over? Do you see what I've got highlighted behind there? The 95.179.236?
Yes.
Copy that to your clipboard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
now go back over to remote desktop. Down here in the bottom, right here, click. Now paste it right there where it says computer.
Yeah.
And, oh, perfect. There we go. Now, do you see the checkbox that says allow me to save credentials? Okay. Now, what I want you to do in the same manner that we did with Brittany, and see, I didn't go to the assistant. I just went to remote desktop connection because we really don't need assistant. I've done this before.
Okay.
It looks slightly different, but it's pretty much all the same stuff.
So
There's
this
three
is
parameters.
This one is already in my system, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll work just fine.
Okay.
You've got computer, you've got username, and then you've got password. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause share, find your Zoom window, your Zoom toolbar, and pause share.
Yeah, done that.
Okay, now go back over to the email that's behind your remote desktop program and highlight and copy your your password to your clipboard.
Got it. Right.
That's done?
Yep.
Okay, now get that off the screen so we can't see it and restart share or unpause share.
Let's see. I'm going to paste that. I'm sorry.
We won't see it when you paste it. It'll be dots, but we will not see the password. Get the password itself off the screen where it's not visible.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
I'm working on it. That's what I'm having. That's an email, and I'm having trouble finding my email. Okay. Okay. Okay, can you see it now?
I can. Now what I want you to do is click connect.
And
Paste in, no. Paste in your password right where the cursor is flashing in that field that says password. Paste.
okay. Yep.
Now click OK. Bada bing, bada boom. Shit.
Oops. Your credentials did not work.
Let me see.
Let me see. It was from an email that I got.
Yeah. Case matters on the username, by the way. And I see that you typed with a big T. I don't think it was that.
That's right. It is not.
Let me.
Okay.
Do I have mouse?
There that is again.
Let me have the mouse for a moment, if I may.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, you need to be mindful of case.
Yeah.
Don't touch the mouse. Leave the mouse
Okay.
alone. Okay. We're not going to use this video. I'll do this again. There's just
Okay.
too many things on here that I don't want to fiddle with.
Okay,
Let's do this. We'll type the word trader
yes,
and then copy that. Copy
Right.
that to the clipboard right here. There we go.
Yeah.
Now back over to here. I'm going to hit cancel on this.
mhm,
And we're going to put in the word trader. And
save. Or connect.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's saved. And connect.
Yeah,
Paste. See if you can paste. I couldn't.
yeah, I'll work on that.
Okay, click OK. Okay, click yes. I think we're going to get in this time. So be mindful of case when teaching someone.
Yeah.
It
See
matters. And I wish we'd talked before you got this version. I don't like this version.
that.
Oh,
Mm.
well, it works. I've got a 2012.
Are you talking about, is it a 2012?
It is.
Oh,
Do you want to turn on? I'd say no on that. Who is this with? Who is the VPS with?
FX. VPS.
FX VPS. Okay. Did you have a choice of 2016 when you purchased this one?
I thought I did, but I don't remember.
You know, you're not
Can I
far
go
enough
back?
along. You're not far enough along that I'd rather see you get 2016 than this one. Because
Yeah, might as
I-
well. So I
yeah.
just go back and ask for a different.
Yeah, just say, hey, look, I don't know how I got 2012, but it isn't the one I wanted. And the guy I'm working with is just a real jerk, and he
Yeah.
wants me to get 2016.
Okay. Okay.
I just think you're better off with it. There's a
I'm
bunch of stuff on
fine.
here that you're taking steps backwards instead of forwards.
Right. Exactly.
Robert,
Okay.
is this the one that you recommend?
The FX is.
Is
Robert,
this the one? What are you referring to, Clint?
this FX VPS, is this the one that you would have your direct referrals use?
Yeah, it's one of several that are decent. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the
Is
question.
there a
Is
way we can
the
cut?
question is not FX VPS. It's what
Mhm.
operating system was chosen when using FX VPS.
I should have said, okay, paragraph, chapter, new book. We're going to go over to Idaho from Washington to ask the question. Blank slate.
Well, no, you can get like 4 or 5 different versions of the OS from any of them.
Okay, can I ask? May I ask a completely different question? How's that
Sure,
sound?
sure, go ahead.
Okay. Robert, do you have a VPS that you recommend for people that are going to trade MT4 with 8-minute trader?
Yeah, FX VPS is fine.
Okay. Because
It's one of several that are fine, but that's not nearly as important as the OS version. You see on the
Okay,
screen
no,
where it says
but again-
2012, Windows Server 2012?
again, remember we moved. This conversation is at the very highest level as to what I want to teach my people to do, and that is which one do they select?
2016.
No.
Well, no,
Which-
but you're talking about 2 different things, Clinton. Be sure, you can parse it as much as you want. There's the company, there's that. FX
Right, and
VPS
that's
is a
all I
fine
care about
choice.
right
Now,
now.
once you've chosen
That's
FX
all I care about.
VPS, you need to choose the operating system correctly. It's important. And you see on
Yeah,
the
I
screen, it
don't-
says Windows Server 2012. That's not the one I would choose from FX VPS. I choose 2016, and I know they have it available because I'm using it from them.
Right, yeah, that wasn't I apologize. I meant to say that I was completely changing the topic. I apologize. I meant to say that.
and while we're on this topic, it's there's probably 4 or 5. You wouldn't go wrong with any of them as long as the broker latency thing. I could tell Brittany hadn't made that choice, by the way, so that's something else to keep in mind. What broker are you using? Where people need to go through that exercise. Then the second question is, what operating system, once you choose a company with which to work, make sure you're choosing the correct operating system, because 12 is just, I won't ever use 12 again. It's a pain in the ass.
Right. So what I'm hearing you say is not only do we need to say, okay, Mike, we feel, you can make your own decision, but we feel with our expert group that FX VPS is a good place to go.
Sure.
Subnote to that, once you have selected FX VPS, another extremely important selection is what OS.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
because what I'm trying to do is walk nobody that I will be dealing with, maybe 1% will be of the level that we're talking right now. All they want to do is know what to do next so they can get back to trading.
Mhm.
They don't want to have any. Nobody's got your level of knowledge. Nobody wants your level of knowledge. Well, God knows what goes on inside your head. So I'm thankful that you've done this analysis, but it makes my head explode. So when I have people come on board, I want to say, my good buddy Robert, who knows his stuff, is guiding us, not telling us what to do, no guarantees, but this is a good VPS, which we absolutely need. Our group feels this particular OS is the best thing to do. Go do it. Now let's get back to trading.
Yeah.
All right. Does that make sense?
Good.
Yep.
How do I get rid of this now?
Just close it.
Oh, it won't save.
If you're going to replace it with something else, it doesn't really matter all that
Oh,
much.
okay.
Just close the session should be in the upper right-hand corner of your window.
Yeah, I don't
Just
see it.
big X.
Yeah, I don't see it. Let's see. Yeah.
Look, well, okay. You
Let
found
me
it
stop
apparently.
there. Yeah, let me start there.
Okay. I hate
Yeah.
to cut this short, but I must. We'll do this again.
Sure.
Because it's helpful to have a practice session, and this was that.
Yep.
And shit, all of this was streamed. Good thing you're not going to use this VPS.
I know it. Yeah, I know. Oh, it was green. Oh my God.
Whoops.
Yeah, we'll
So,
change that.
but there's another set of practical application here. So you're getting used to Zoom, pause,
Yeah, yeah.
and be mindful of whatever's on your screen. We see.
And
So
I couldn't
if you
get,
have your password on your screen,
I
don't do
know.
that.
I couldn't get to where it was behind the Zoom stuff at the top. I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could anyway. So, okay.
You
Now,
apparently did, because we all saw it.
I know it. Well, I couldn't get to it to get rid of it.
Yeah. Some of that is learning how to navigate with Zoom.
That's right.
And that's no small deal, because Zoom is such a pain in the ass, frankly.
Good.
There's so many things I dislike about Zoom, not the least of which is that toolbar being, where the hell is it?
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of things like that, but what you need to do is get used to where the toolbar is. Another little tactic, by the way, that can be helpful, depending, this is kind of a double-edged sword, but with Zoom tools, you can turn them on so your audience can see them. I do that for training purposes, or you can turn them off. Meaning you see them, but the audience doesn't see them. Now, sometimes that can be handy when you're in a presentation, because you can put it up on the screen and there's a list of people that you don't want people necessarily seeing the names. As an example, that would be a place where you'd maybe not want to share it.
Right.
I have multiple monitors, so I don't give a rip. I put the stuff that I don't want people to see on a monitor that I'm not sharing.
Right. Right.
The other thing that's a learning thing is getting used to the idea we only see one screen. So if you're seeing a window on a different screen, we don't see that.
That's right.
You've got to learn how to get it from there over to the one we're sharing on.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
So there was multiple learning topics on this call,
Yeah.
which, some of that's just getting used to this stuff. And
Right. So I just need to email support and tell them.
yeah. And they're pretty
That's
good. I think, since you haven't had, you've had what, a week or two?
Yeah. About a week.
I'd say, look, bad on me. I don't know how it happened, but I got 2012. I don't want 2012. The guy that I'm working with doesn't like 2012, and he's a, you can
Yeah,
make
okay.
me the bad guy.
Right. Good deal. I'll work on it.
And apparently 2019 looks about identical, by the way. I couldn't help but notice that just now
Mhm.
with Brittany.
Yeah,
20, if they'll do 2019 for the same price, maybe you're better off going that way.
okay, I'll check.
It looked identical to what I'm used to. But 16 and 19 look the same. 12 is a mutt. I really don't like 12.
Yes, got it.
Hey, Robert, for future AMAs, I think one of the first ones we might want to consider doing is talking about prop firms. And I don't know whether that's an AMA or a separate topic. And then another one that I'd really like to dive into is some of the math on, it's easy to say 0.01 per thousand, got it. But especially for those moving into prop firms, there's a whole different specter of math to protect those guardrails. And that's what I've been wrestling with here while you've been talking. And so, maybe you and I could brainstorm a little bit, but as you and I have talked, and Lon agrees 110%, I think that marketing or making available the concept of a prop firm could really help our sales.
Yep.
But we got to show people.
The other thing that will screw this a bit, because I've been wrestling with that. Funny that you mentioned math on position sizes. You saw all those MT4s, right? Like 11 or 12 or whatever the number is. There's huge disparity between position size in the different instruments. I just use US 30 as a reference point. On Envy, it's 0.01 per thousand, right? Not on all of them. On Ox, it's one. One lot is $1.
In the US 30?
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it depends, see, because they change the parameters on the contract size. This is what I think. And I'm not an expert on this. I got to become one. This isn't optional. This will be on the test. The contract size defines what the relative value is when you put in position size and what the dollar value is per point. Okay. And point is the proper word. Point is when it moves $1. That's a point on the Dow. Okay. Not to be confused with points on the stop loss and all that. And don't shoot the messenger. This is just, this will be on the test. Points are $1. Okay. If it moves from 32,699 to 32,700, that's 1 point. That's $1. Okay. Some brokers, that's 0.01. Some brokers, that's 0.1. Some brokers, that's 1.
Wow.
Don't shoot the messenger. And this is something I'm still getting my brain around. And then add to that this fucking unbelievable, I definitely got to delete these. The leverage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and it's good because having to wrestle with all this, looking at the brokers, figuring out what are the good brokers, ones I like. I like Ox for US 30. I hate Ox for crypto. I discovered the other day trading with Brett, I was paying $7 each way, $14 round trip. They're the highest by far on Forex trading, the commission is out of whack. US 30, there is no commission. It's just the spread. Their spread is excellent on the US 30. They've really done well there. Don't use them for Forex.
But you still like Hanko for US 30.
Hanko all around, if you're going to pick one, pretty hard to beat.
And that's the answer that I want to start with. And again,
I'm trying to be mindful of your prism, the marketing prism, one simple Hanko.
Yep.
Good competitive spreads, really good commission, flexible in terms of how you get money in and out, assuming you trust crypto still.
even on
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even on crypto, the spread.
Well, they only use crypto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was making a joke because we've been comparing notes on Sam Bankman-Fried, and
oh yes,
he's the mini young version of the more I see and hear, the more I'm thinking Madoff comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snake.
Hey, look at Tom Brady and all those. They're being sued just because they're advertising.
Well,
them
I'll give a pass to somewhat because Brady's business is football, not this stuff, and he saw $1. But Friedman knew what he was doing, and if he didn't, what in the hell is he doing with $32 billion?
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing, and he knew that there was, you know, hanky panky going on, and all of a sudden there's money, there's money missing, like big chunks of money, like inexplicably, where'd it go?
Yeah.
I don't understand how the people that put in big money didn't monitor, because apparently the institutional controls were absolutely non-existent.
Right.
I just don't understand, but
Yeah.
I guess it's the good old boy network, you know.
Yeah,
if-
well, here's a young guy, and I think he had such a, you know, darling. He's obviously bright and obviously part of the Stanford crowd or wherever he, you know, was educated.
MIT.
He's very bright. It's very clear he knows what he's doing. He has the right pedigree. Therefore, there's assumptions made, which he knows what he's doing from a control standpoint.
Yep.
Unsafe assumption. He was a jackass,
Mhm, mhm.
you know, and
Back to the
behaved
math.
badly.
Back to the math, and we'll cover it when we get to the math, but just a basic fundamental question. When I enter a transaction in the US 30 on Envy for 0.01,
Mhm.
how much money have I spent? And to be honest, I'm not expecting you to know the answer. That's my,
How much have you spent? That's the.
In other words,
the
what-
word "spent" is what I'm.
what have I
troubling me.
tried to put, what have I done?
What have you put at exposure? I think you've put $10,000 at exposure.
Okay, so 10,000 times 0.01 then would be $100.
Yeah, I think it'd be 50 because you have 200 to 1 leverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's got you.
And
That's
I want to do this more thoroughly, not just kind of off the cuff. I want to do
Yeah.
this where like a steel trap where I know this and I'm not there. And,
Yeah,
I need to be there. So I'm going to be working on
both
this
need
a
to.
lot.
Yeah. And I know you're late for another meeting, but yeah, that's probably the one big one, because then I want to know, because then it begins to really get into the more advanced position and risk. Because what I'm wrestling
Yeah.
with, and I'll leave you with this, is I've got a, you know, in a $25,000 prop account, I got $1,250 worth of mistakes I can make.
Mhm.
So I'm not dealing with percentage loss, I'm dealing with dollar loss per trade. So I'm thinking, I'm in a prop account, I'm going to run smaller trades, probably smaller trades, in order to have a slightly larger stop loss basis dollars
Yeah.
to give me room.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going? And
Well,
it took me-
it always comes down to the percentage you're putting at risk, you know, at any time. And that can be one position, it can be 5 positions, but what percentage overall are you putting at risk? And if you lose, what is that number in dollars? It's the percentage though with them that matters. Yes, the dollars matter, but if you know, like if you use the equity protector and you stay 4% or less, I think you're golden. And
Right.
then you could be more aggressive and not go, oh shit, if you have a real bad situation and you have a loss, it's going to protect you and not allow it to be over 4%.
Because if you think about it, we're dealing with most of these, we're dealing with a 5%. I'm really liking E8, and you can start for $250
Mhm.
to get a $25,000 account. And I know you got to go, but the whole point is, if we're talking about 3% loss, you do that.
I really want to have this conversation, but thoroughly where I'm not rushed, and that this
Yep.
ain't that time. So
Yep. Good. I appreciate it.
Okay, man.
Have a good Thanksgiving, you guys.
You
Okay,
too.
and-
And
but-
Lon,
Yeah.
if they turn that around quickly, ping me, and maybe we'll do a quick and dirty one.
Okay.
Which would be good anyway, and get your damn password off the screen next
I
time we
know,
do a screen
get it
share.
out. Right,
That way we
Yeah.
can do the share properly, and I can
Okay.
actually use the video.
right. Okay, sounds good. Sounds
All right,
good.
guys.
But, you know,
If we
8
don't
o'clock
talk before,
tonight.
have a great Thanksgiving. And if you do get that relatively quickly, Lon,
Okay.
ping me, because that way I can knock out a quick,
Yeah,
usable, you know, more usable video that we can put on YouTube. That one that I just did.
yeah, I'll
Too
clean my
long,
screen
and
off.
there's just too many bad words on there.
I know.